Hey there guys, I'm SonicGhost and welcome back to some more Let's Play Splatoon 2. Last time, we continued exploring World 3, and now we only have one more level here to explore before we fight the boss. So, let's go ahead and enter the Octoling Assault. Pump track it up! So this is our second case of a multiplayer level being played in the single player campaign. So this level here in particular, you're going to start noticing just how much they spread things out. And also, there's going to be a new type of weapon in this mode in particular that the Octoling is going to use against us. You can kind of see it right there. So, we'll go ahead and deal with these pots here. The Toxic Mist. These Toxic Mist pots are pretty annoying to deal with in all honesty, simply just because when you get near them, they slow you down a lot. You do not want to get near these things. Whenever you can, take them out, because they are a major issue. Moving this slow around Octarians is pretty deadly, honestly, so whenever I see those kind of things, I try to destroy them right away. There's a similar weapon in the multiplayer mode that people use, and just like these Toxic Mix things, they do slow you down, making things a lot worse for you in general. So whenever I see those little mist areas, I try to stay out of them as much as I can, but sometimes, in terms of multiplayer at least, they're kind of hard to avoid because someone could just chuck a bomb out, which has Toxic Mist in it, and it'll just hit you from farther away. So yeah, you gotta be just very careful in general. Be paying attention to your surroundings. And as soon as you see one of these pots, shoot them before they activate, because doing so will save you a lot of time and headache. But we have ourselves a new type of special here, the Curling Bomb Rush. So, the Curling Bomb Launcher here in particular, it's pretty interesting just because you're shooting out a whole bunch of curling bombs at once. But the biggest thing I noticed about it that I'm not as big of a fan of is the fact that curling bombs aren't really the best of pressure enemies in terms of a special. They're good maybe to throw one out and then follow the ink trail, while following the trail then taking out your enemy, but in terms of a bomb rush, not as useful, if you want to be honest. They're a lot harder to aim with, and because they bounce all over the place in the walls, they don't detonate right away, and because of it, they can either hit enemies when you're trying to aim, or just completely avoid them. So that's why I'm not as big of a fan of this rush in particular. Not one of the better ones, but it still can be better than some specials. I just personally don't find much of it used for these Curling Bomb Launcher, to be honest. That's a lot of boxes. I don't really have that much ink, though. I really want to get as many eggs as I can here, just so I can go ahead and upgrade my ink capacity soon. Because having a little ink capacity right now is not helping at all. I'd like to have more, just because of how much in general I use ink. You use it for so many things, and bombs especially take up a lot of your ink, so as soon as I can upgrade this tank, I probably should do that. I've been holding off for the longest time because I really wanted to upgrade my hero shot right away first. Upgrading the hero shot is just so important, just because of how terrible they make it, in particular for the single player. They make it really bad, I think, on purpose, just so you have to upgrade it later. And to me, I don't know, I'm not really the biggest fan of how weak it is when you first start off for that reason. It's just not really that effective. It's okay when you're playing through these levels and just taking care of normal Altarians. But when you're getting to levels like this, not so much. Like, the Octolings in general really fight back. So you don't want to have a weak weapon for those things. So as soon as you can upgrade that weapon, the better. But I also like getting the bombs right away too, just because these things are just that useful. I like to get these bombs right away, since I use them all the dang time. Auto bombs I could do without for a bit, but even then, it's still very expensive, so it doesn't matter. I'm actually going to take that out. Not going to kill her just yet. I mean, I'm going to kill this Octoling real fast because it's right in my way. And I'm about ready to die, so I maybe just want to wait here a bit. Yeah, because I don't want to go down there because I will be killed immediately. Throw down this Autobomb. For some reason, though, this Octoling's trying to go into its octopus form on dry land. I don't get why. Because that doesn't do anything. In fact, you just kind of exposed yourself, lady. Alright, so that was an easy shot, surprisingly. Let's just go ahead and charge up here a bit more. Shoot this box a couple times, which will reveal a Sardinian. And if I go over here, unlock this, get ourselves a Sunken Scroll. There you go. We could use that key earlier to unlock a splashdown weapon, but if you're going for all the collectibles, save your key for the eel. You don't want to waste it. Trust me, that won't be good. Let's go ahead and destroy this cage, and there you go. Got ourselves our final Zapfish, and the level is now beaten. So that was it. That was our final level of World 3. At this point, we're ready to fight the boss. So let's go ahead and read our sunken scroll and then take on the boss of World 3. Don't slip up and miss this new album by Wet Floor, on sale now. Their style changes like the shifting tides of ink in a battle. Full color or monochromatic? Smooth or statico? Or lush and dripping with sound? It's rock for a new generation. That sounds interesting. They do use Wet Floor as the song names for this game. It's kind of similar to how they did with Splatoon 1, where the album was pretty much referenced in the game. They do the same thing here. So I'm actually going to jump over here in particular. And then I don't think I can reach that, but I can definitely reach the next railing. Yeah, why not? I'm right here. Give me some more eggs. This gives me a decent amount from this balloon. There you go. Give me some 5 eggs, why not? So, shoot this little zip point, get onto this rail, shoot our next zip point, and time for the boss. Time for Lips for Days. The Octostomp returns. So just like the subtitle for this boss says, this is actually a returning boss fight from Splatoon 1. If you played the single player from Splatoon 1, you're going to recognize this guy right away. This boss was actually the first boss of Splatoon 1. This time around, he pops up a little bit later here in World 3. I really like what they did with this boss fight. In comparison to how he was in Splatoon 1, since he was the first boss, he was definitely the easiest, but he needed to be. He was the first boss you would fight, so it introduced you to the boss mechanics, and also just get you familiar with how these bosses just act in general. Splatoon 2, on the other hand, because this guy is later on, they don't need to worry about making this guy easy. They can go all out. So, it's time for the Octostomp. I'm back! And he's back with a vengeance. Just like in Splatoon 1, he will rush at you, so you want to go ahead and get out of his way and climb on his back right away. Shoot up his tentacle, and there you go. That's phase 1. Just like Splatoon 1, or at least for the first phase, it's very simple. Just have to dodge him, climb up his back, and that's it. But after the first phase, he gets smart. He puts on this jacket. And this jacket in particular makes him the Neo Octostomp. He brought the sweet new coat along, which makes him uninkable. What we need to do is we need to take this jacket off immediately, so shoot that clip. You need to shoot that thing right away and expose him. Luckily, we have the dualies for this fight, so dodging this guy is a lot easier. So, whenever he's about ready to stomp down, I like to go ahead and mash the beat button to go ahead and just dodge very, very quickly. And now with his jacket destroyed, we can go ahead and ink up his body once more. So, we gotta move. It doesn't give us much time before he gets back up. Luckily, these dualies have such a fast firing rate, so it's not really that big of a deal. We can catch up to this guy in no time. There you go. That's another hit down, so time for phase 3. And phase 3, he upgrades his jacket a bit. And somehow gets 3 faces. Don't get how that works. In fact, Marie doesn't even know how it works, it just happens. So, as you can tell here, this is when the fight gets really challenging because he does a lot of damage. There's a reason why there's a floor here on the bottom so you can just jump down. You're gonna have to come down here a lot to avoid his attacks. I don't like being next to his feet though, that's a little discomforting. Let's get back up. Throw a curling bomb here real fast, and he's getting ready to move. Get out of the way. Ah, barely. It's really hard to avoid him in this phase in particular just because of how big of a hit radius now he has with this dang mask. Just having 3 faces in general, not the easiest to avoid. Alright, come on buddy, turn around. There you go. If I can maybe hit him on the way back out, that'd be great. Nah, I can barely reach from down here. He's gonna move. There you go. Thanks, buddy. Get ready, because I do believe he's gonna charge at me again. Yeah, I'm too close. That didn't hurt. I am very shocked. How did that not hurt me? The face literally hit me. I went through it. That's how bad it was. So I'm very shocked I didn't take damage, but you know what? We take that. We take the weird hit protection. I'm fine with it. Alright, he's gonna go ahead and just make his way over here, so move now. Or he's actually gonna use his turret, surprisingly. In fact, that's the best attack you can get in the 3rd phase, because it gives you more than enough time to charge up in front of him, shoot his little clip off, and now we can go ahead and attack him one final time. So just let him move, stomp down, ink up his back here, and let's go ahead and do our final shot. There you go. The Octostomp maid came back, and he definitely was more challenging this time around, but he still stands no chance against us. That's another boss fight down. Let's go ahead and collect our Sardinium and get our power eggs, and let's leave. That was World 3. Honestly, I gotta say that the Octostomp is probably one of my favorite bosses in the single player. It's just so fun to fight against. Agent 4, I want to thank you again for all that you've done so far. I think it's time I told you about my other purpose in asking for your help. When we met, I told you I was searching for the Great Zapfish. But I'm afraid that's not the whole story. You see, even more than the Great Zapfish, I want to find my cousin Callie. She vanished on the same day as the Great Zapfish. Wait, you're a new? Phew, cool. So anyway, I'm Agent 2 of the new Squidbeak Splatoon, and Callie is Agent 1. Then there's Agent 3, who's currently out with our grandpa, Captain Cuttlefish. They won't be back for a while. I was supposed to be protecting Ignopolis when the captain was away, but then Callie, the Great Zapfish... Sorry I didn't tell you sooner. We'll be totally sunk without you, Agent 4. I know we'll find Callie if you keep looking. Think you can see this thing through? Leave now. Leave now! Huh? Who's there? If you get in our way, Agent 4 will mess you up. That sounds nice and threatening. Let's just go ahead and ignore it. It's fine. I mean, it's probably just one of those fake death threats, right? I mean, they don't mean business, right? Right? I guess we'll just have to find out. Go ahead and shoot this rail and make our way to World 4. Callie and the Great Zapfish are somewhere out there, Agent 4. They definitely are, and we're going to find them in due time. I want to show off real quick that you can take this rail back over to the main area here in World 3, so if you didn't want to do any super jumps for some reason, you can use this rail to get back. And honestly, I really only find that to be useful if you explore this area fully without opening a level yet, because you really don't get much use out of that, in all honesty. That rail is just kind of there, in my opinion. But yeah, now it's time to make our way to our next world in the game. And our next world here is the Slime Skin Garrison. You got me with the slime part, but what is with the Garrison subtitle in this world? Like, is Garrison that threatening of a name? Like, sure, we'll go with it. Splatoon just has some weird namings, that's for sure. This is definitely up there one of those weird name schemes. But yeah, this world is pretty big, pretty spread out, just like the last one. But we're going to go ahead and save the exploration for this world for next time. With that said, next time on Let's Play Splatoon 2, we'll go ahead and start making our way through World 4. I'll see you guys next time.